Yeah, I can see.
Does that look all right?
Born in Barnstable, brought up around North Devon.
Went to school here.
Was happy. I've been promoted to a management position as night shift warehouse manager.
I think things were probably pretty much normal as such.
I was in fishing for 20 odd years.
Good prospects with the company, long-term job security.
And things started to fall apart.
It comes out of nowhere, you know? They think, oh yeah, damn, I didn't cover that spec. I didn't have a backup plan for that.
The marriage promptly failed and she kicked me out, made me homeless on the streets of Worthing in Sussex.
I didn't know that women were going to have this pension change. I didn't know I was going to lose my hearing.
I didn't have any idea where I was, you know. It was horrible. I was living under a bush for a month.
A change in government policy, something that has led to a loss of housing or a loss of a job, and before you know it, you can find yourself in poverty.
It grabbed me by surprise, and it hasn't let go since.
And once you fall off the edge of that precipice, you fall swiftly.
1 minute you can have a nice home, next minute, where do you go? What do? Got your suitcase of belongings, and you end up finding somewhere, like the public toilets or somewhere, just to sleep.
The average healthy life expectancy for central Ilfracombe is 57 years of age. I think more than anything else just shows the level of deprivation and challenge that some of our families have.
Poverty has made me suffer. Poverty has made my children suffer.
I had school uniform handed from neighbours. I got bullied for it. I had my hair pulled, punched, kicked. I would go home nearly every day with bruises on me from school.
You get a lot of private landlords around here. That gives a lot of vulnerability to the tenants, you know what I mean? They're scared the whole time to complain, even to the official sources they're supposed to be able to. Environmental Health, the council, you know, they won't do it. I've had roofs caving in from excessive leaking. I've had backed up drains where filled bath up with raw sewage. The property around here and that I've had to live in for the last decade has been a tragedy.
And constantly having that worry about, am I going to have a roof over my head? Is that roof over my head safe for my children? Where's the next meal coming from? That has an impact on the students, and they have a lot of burden that they're bringing with them.
I've got the equivalent of about £12 a day. If I had to go to the job centre that day, which is like £4.50 fuel, it's like, what am I not going to have today? Am I going short on food? Am I not run hot water?
I can't afford that loaf of bread right now. It's going to have to wait till next week. I can't afford that tin of tuna. We're struggling. We're having to go down to the Salvation Army, to the food bank.
Unfortunately, that's where it leads to people shoplifting just to get their daily essentials because they just don't know where to go.
Roast dinners went ages ago. It's a small thing, but just like a roast dinner together is it's what you think of a family doing, isn't it?
We've had some pretty shocking Christmases where, why did Father Christmas bring me a broken PlayStation? And I don't know, I just said, I think it got knocked on the sleigh as we're coming in, you just have to, think about things.
None of us should underestimate the challenge of getting out of poverty.
The thing I find the hardest is getting information of different organisations that's out there. Salvation Army, Food Bank, what help you can get from the councils, household support funds.
So you might only skim the surface on it a bit and not understand there's more if nobody says to you and you haven't asked.
No, there seems to be quite a lot of red tape to get through with the certain forms that you fill in and get all the right information.
I feel that North Devon is unusually isolated. It's almost like living on an island. If to access help you have to travel 15 miles on an irregular bus that costs you £5, which you haven't got, but if you don't spend it, you won't get any help. I mean, that's ridiculous to most of the country.
Not all of the solutions required a great deal of money. Some have been really, really fundamental messages about how people feel, kind of what the experience is like when they deal with the service, whether they're being judged.
You feel you're on trial in the job centre, I'll say that much, you know. For some reason the security guards come stand by you and listen over you as if they're part of it, watching you like this, you know.
Whether they're being pushed away and kind of, and shelved.
Literally, when I went to him and I said, "Doctor, I want to tell you something. I'm afraid I'm an alcoholic." And I said, "Well, what can I do?" He said, "There's nothing. There's nothing you can do." I said, "Well, what'll happen?" He said, "Well, you'll die."
You know, you're on a list to be dealt with one way or another.
I think there should be a level of understanding that, it's not always that person's fault that they've ended up in a position where they're having to ask for help. And obviously to ask for help is quite a big step for some people that are, quite proud.
There's always ones with the love and kindness and care towards it that succeeded for me.
It's about how we do those things with respect. It's about how we do those things with kindness and empathy and communicate that to people. So when they're at their most vulnerable, they know and understand that there are people that care and that are trying to help them.
There is no shame in asking for the help that's provided, and we should not be made to feel shame in any way when we ask for help,